Chemususu Dam is a Vision 2030 project which was started way back in 2009. The intention was to serve the people of Baringo as well as Nakuru counties. Today, this dam here is fulfilling this mandate. This week on Inside Government, we're talking to Madenge Derito. He's the chairperson of the Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency. He's going to help us understand what the agency is doing to ensure that people in the 5 counties that they serve have adequate water for their use and, of course, for commercial purposes. Thank you very much indeed, Bonachea, for joining us. This dam, the construction started way back in 2009. It was finished in 2012.
Yes.
And today, it still stands here providing water to millions of people. Give us a brief background of this project.
Thank you very much. As you have, my name is Madenge Derito. Chemususu Dam, it was a Vision 2030 project, and it was envisioned to serve the people of Baringo and Nakuru County. The dam is located at the confluence of 2 rivers, Chemususu and Tinet. It has a capacity of 11.2 million cubic meters. The population is supposed to serve is about 300,000. It has a very rich catchment, and I would wish to thank the locals for maintaining that catchment. As Central Rift Valley, in preservation of the catchment, we have Chemususu Marathon that is taken once a year. We have had tree planting activities around the dam just to enhance the catchment, and you can see the water is very clean. There is lots of rain this season, and you can see the water is not turbid, it's not colored, it's clean. The project was done by National Water Conservation and Pipeline, and as you have rightly said, the works started in 2009 and completed in 2012. The water flows into a treatment work that started in 2016. Initially, there used to be a small treatment work that used to produce 6,500 cubic meters per day. Current treatment, because that's where Central Rift Valley water started, has the capacity to produce 28.5 thousand cubic meters per day. And that water, the treatment and the work was completed in 2021, and the distribution network, it was going concurrently. As the treatment was being built, the distribution network was being done. It has 212 kilometers of trunk pipeline. Those that big diameter pipe taking water into those tanks, and there are a total of 21 such. But the main tank is at Baringo High School site, which is 5,000 cubic meters capacity. That is the one. The water flows by gravity to that tank.
When this idea was conceived, we didn't have the county government. We had provinces, we had districts. Now that we are in the era of devolved units, how many counties are served by this water?
Chemususu water is supposed to serve Nakuru and Baringo. And that's why Central Rift Valley is central in the project, because we are national government, and this being a cross-county project, we are able to serve without, otherwise Baringo would serve its own people, Nakuru would serve its own people. After we treat and provided the infrastructure, the water is taken by the service providers, WSPs. For this case, for Baringo, it's Chemususu water. For Nakuru, it's Narwasco. Those are the ones that who take on now the distribution. As I have said, the water flows after tanks and the distribution network. Then there is the last mile. After we have done, there is a scheme that was commissioned by the president about a month ago. It is now those service providers now to connect. All they do is meter consumers. Central Rift Valley has a very central role, especially we do other projects, but for such a cross-county project, then our role is more enhanced.
Help me understand this. I mean, when you look at the 2 counties, the county of Baringo and the county of Nakuru, they have a population of almost 2 million people. This dam, you said, is serving about 600,000 people? 300,000 people.
Yes.
So what are you doing with the rest 1.7 almost a million people?
There are other projects within planned and executed. For example, in Baringo County, at the moment, this project is serving two sub-counties, Mugutio and Eldamaravine. For Nakuru, we are only touching the Rugai side. And I might also mention that the Rugai side is still not well served because at the design stage, there was a pipeline that was presumed would be used. But by the time the project was ready, it was realized that it could not handle the quantities from this project. And Central Rift Valley, we have done the design, we have done the quantities. We know we require between 1.8 and 2 billion to do that part of this project. So the scheme now, if I may not call it a project now, it's a scheme, it still has some miles to cover in terms of resources so that we can reach the 300,000 people. But as I was saying, in Baringo County, we have other projects. For example, we have been doing a borehole project, the lower drier areas of Marigat and those places. There is a project that's been sponsored by JICA. And then up at Kabarnet side, there is a Kirandich Dam, which is at Kitulo. There is a project being funded by the Italian. It had stalled. But we thank the government through the intervention of the president that it has taken off. Kirandich, that is in Baringo County. And we are taking water from the dam into Kabarnet and all the way to Kabartonjo. And on the lower side, Kitulo, and also some areas in that direction. And we are also undertaking a sanitation project there. So there are many other projects. And then you have talked about Itare. Itare is supposed to address Nakuru. And yes, mostly Nakuru County, a bit of Kericho and Nakuru County mostly. Because it comes across town all the way to the other side of Nakuru, the eastern side of Nakuru. It had also stalled from, I think, 2018. It's huge. It's a very huge project that is envisaged. Actually, it was supposed to take care of Nakuru when it became the city. And once again, I thank the president. He has intervened and the project is set to restart. We thought in the course of this year, but we will definitely early next year. And that's Dam. Yes, that is Tare Dam, with a capacity of 28 million cubic meters, the storage capacity, and is envisaged to serve about 800,000 people.
You serve 5 counties.
Yes.
You are in Narok, Laikipia, yes, Nyandarua, Baringo, and Nakuru counties. And your mandate is to ensure that people living in these counties, they have access to clean water and, of course, proper sanitation. What other projects are you undertaking to fulfill your mandate?
There are 5 mandates, but the most important is develop water infrastructure on behalf of the national government. And there are other mandates like building capacity, like as I have told you, we will hand it over to the WSPs. So we are supposed to build capacity for them to be able to run. And also in the extreme, if they are not able, we can intervene. For example, if the project is there, the water is there, but they have managerial problems, that's still part of the mandate. But you have asked about the projects we are doing in different places. For example, in Naivasha, we did the industrial park. We have a project also wholly funded by the government. We've gotten water from some boreholes at Daramea, the stopover just opposite. Pumped it all the way to Longonot, where there is a reservoir of 4.5 million liters, and then it flows to the industrial park in Maimahio. That's a project undertaken by Central Rift. That one is basically to encourage investors in the industrial park. So there is water there. There are 2 tanks of 500,000 liters, 500 cubic meters. At the site, at the industrial site, and it has even extended to Suswa in Narok. We also have some projects in Narok, like we have completed a project that was commissioned sometimes last year by the president, the the sanitation project. We also did a lot of last mile connectivity, because it goes without saying, like now we have given El Damravin water. That water, after use, it has to be disposed. And you see, most people talk about, they even say when they have built flats, there is borehole water. Rarely do they talk about what next, because that water has to be disposed. So we've been doing at the Kenya towns, we've been doing sewerage works. Now it's under Kenya Urban and Sanitation, water and sanitation. So in Narok, we did that project, and there are several small dams and boreholes that we are doing to answer to water problems. In Laikipia came recently, but we have a lot of projects that we have planned and put in the pipeline for the county. So all of them we have master plans ready to tender projects, that if we have the money or a financial. We have also
project waiting financing.
Yeah, there are projects waiting finances, and there are those that already, for example, in Nakuru County, maybe I'm too much on Nakuru. We have a water project that is coming up under Kenya Towns, that is Kinamba Kayore, and we have projects like Kahurura in Laikipia that we have taken over from the Northern Water, because Laikipia used to be under Northern Water. In Nyandarua, we have projects like Pesi Dam, which is, we hope it can get some financials, because it serves both Laikipia and Nyandarua. Yes, all our counties, we have master plans, and we are ready to roll. We have presented to the government for funding, the ones that the government can fund at once. But again, as I have told you, we intervene where there are problems, maybe in terms of boreholes. We have done tens of those ones. Water for schools, we have intervened in so many schools. In health facilities, we have always intervened. We don't actually wait sometimes. If the locals have a problem, and we have
intervene.
We are ready to intervene.
Help me understand. You're one of the 9 water agencies in the Republic of Kenya, and you serve 5 counties. How many people in the counties that you serve have access to clean piped water?
50, we are above 50%. I may not have the exact percentage, but on sanitation we are quite low. Less than 30.
I'm not talking about sanitation.
Yeah,
I'm talking
water.
about water.
Yeah, we are 56. I'm not sure we are at 60. Some places the urban is high.
The coverage is higher.
Yeah, but the peri-urban and the rural, and that's why this project where we are is very important, because it's serving mostly the rural.
Mostly the rural communities.
The rural communities.
I mean, you see, when you look at water coverage in the Republic of Kenya, you're looking at about 67 to 68%. The aspirations of the government under the Sustainable Development Goals is to have every Kenyan having access to clean water by the year 2030. We are talking about less than 6 years from now. What are you doing as an agency to help the government achieve this mandate?
As the agency on the ground, what we have done is we have mapped out our area, and we know the needs for every village. That is, and as I have told you, sometimes we do the small time intervention of a borehole that will serve a small community. But in every county, there is a master plan of the future for what would be required to cover the whole population. Nyandarua have said we have Pesi Dam that would serve the upper Nyandarua, as well as some sections of Laikipia. There is also some other projects lined up along the slopes where we have the catchment, Keja, and then we have the Malewa Dam that was supposed to serve Nakuru County, the Gilgil town, those bustling centers that are growing at a very high rate. As an agency, we have made master plans, we have made the designs, we have made the quantities, and all we are waiting is funding.
Funding.
Yeah, because we implement. We are a government agency implementing on the behalf of the government, and we don't generate. So mostly we propose with the help of local leaders and communities, and then we work on that such that to a point it can be implemented.
The 5 counties that you serve, they are considered, or they fall under the counties which are considered to have to be water scarce. For example, when you look at the county where we are in, Baringo County, water coverage is about 35%. That's way below the national coverage. And so you require massive resources and, of course, major projects so that you can meet the water demands of the people that you serve in. Which other government and non-state actors are you working with in the realization of your plans?
First and foremost is the county governments. Those are our immediate partners.
Or are they apportioning enough resources, to help you meet your mandate?
They implement their own. They don't give us any resources. Mostly they are doing the small time, like I have seen those intervention programs that we do. They don't have the resources to undertake such a project or those big time projects. So it's still the responsibility of the national government to make sure that people have access to clean water.
When you go through your strategic plan for 5 years, you're looking for about 234 billion shillings to implement various projects.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan of how you're going to get these resources? Because 235 billion shillings is quite a significant amount of money.
Yeah, and there are 3 ways is first is the government. Second is development partners. That's through grants and loans. And third, the PPP, the public-private partnership. Of course, that would be the way to go, but the problem is the nature of PPPs is they have to be convinced that they can recoup the investment. So we could be having some problem going in that direction. So now we are left with the government, and based on our track record, and by the way, we have implemented projects even outside our jurisdiction. Development partners can have faith in us, and then they can be able to inject resources. 2030 is very close, but at least we can see some of them.
Do you think we are going to meet that target of universal water coverage?
I think we are in 3rd year of our strategic plan. I don't think we have raised a good portion of the resources that. We are far from our dream.
So what are you doing then to accelerate and to attract more strategic partners so that you can meet your financial aspirations and also you can finance the project that you have outlined?
Yeah, as I have said, we have 3 ways. From the government, we have to get some budgetary allocation. And we have to talk to our local leaders, tell them about our dreams, so that at the budgeting level, and we even make our presentations there, we are able to have ourselves in the budget. Then the other thing is, as I have said, we have to look at partners, either through PPs, through public-private partnership, or through the grants and loans. And that is, as I have told you, is basically from the way how efficient we are in implementing our projects, as well as presenting our cases.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, when you look at your operations, from the back end to the front end, what would you say is the biggest challenge, facing the Central Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency in fulfilling its mandate?
Of course, number one is finance. Secondary, we are a bit understaffed.
Understaffed.
Yes.
You have less than 100 people.
Yes, we have half of what we would need.
So you need 200 people.
No, I mean, our capacity is about 100, or what has been approved by the Public Service Commission is about 90 to 100. But we have imposed about 30 something. So that might affect the efficiency of our project delivery. But we have, with the meager staff, we have really pushed such that even the projects that we are doing all over the country, they are coming out very well. And even, for example, the president has been in our project 5 times commissioning this year, meaning that we are even in the midst of all those challenges, we are delivering on our mandate.
Let me get you right. I mean, you're an agency which is supposed to serve 5 counties with almost 10 million people.
Yes.
And you have a workforce of less than 40 people.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And you don't have enough resources. Is it proper then to say that you've been set up to fail?
Can't say that for sure, because it's not only our agency, especially on staffing levels. It cuts across. So we may not give it so much as a reason of failure to deliver, or imply that we are set to fail. As I've told you, even with the meager staff and resources, sometimes taking quite some energy, because some of the projects we are working on are donor funded, and you really have to push for sometimes tax rebates. The contractor is making noise and the process is not going as fast as you want, and you don't have enough people to send.
Is affecting the delivery of your money?
It may deliver that one, because you need staff to be on this side and on this side, on the side of administration, on the side of implementation.
I know there is a hiring freeze in government because of various reasons. But, the government is giving concessions in some areas where staff are needed.
Yes.
Are you in talks with the Public Service Commission to ensure that the number of employees in your organization is added?
Very much so. And we had even our human resources passed and financed. But I think there were some court cases that said it's only the Public Service Commission that can do that. So we had to go back again and redo our human resources instruments. They are ready, and I think in a very short while, using that little budget that we had, we could look at the more needed areas. And it may not be the optimum, but we'll hire boosters. Yeah.
Let us also talk about financing. I mean, the government is the biggest financier of your projects.
Yes.
Are you in conversations with the National Treasury to ensure that exchequer funding for your project is upscaled?
Sometimes we can't do that directly.
It has to be through the ministry.
It has to be through.
But have you initiated that process?
Yes, always. We always have, as I have told you, we have lined up projects that would cost as much as you have seen in our strategic plan. So there are so many projects. We have the master plan for our 5 counties, and
you're just waiting for finance.
Yeah,
how much money do you need to complete those projects that are in the pipeline?
That are in the pipeline, I think it's in the region of 300 billion. 300 billion. No, the ones that we have planned, because if you say the ones in the pipeline, we could mean those that are at the implementation. But the planned, we would require 300 billion or upwards, that we would feel that every part of our county we would have a master project like this one that would cover upwards of 300,000 or 300,000 households. So and also there are those projects that are undertaken by communities. They will also, albeit in a small way, we cannot ignore them. They are also very important.
Mr. Chairman, as we come to the close of this interview, in the interest of time, and I know that government officials are watching, development partners are also tuned in, as well as local communities. What is your message to them now that they are watching you?
I will start by first thanking the president. I have mentioned two projects that were almost going down the drain. Itare, with like 11 billion put into it, and then there is Kirandich for this county. The government has shown the interest in getting people to have water. As I have said, until recently we had done trunk lines and tanks, until the president came in and we were able to do some extension and the last mile connectivity, which is very important because it makes no sense putting up such infrastructure and the locals or the citizens are not having that water in their households. So we thank the government and we know the intention is good. However, in the past, there used to be a lot of, many years ago, we would hear questions in parliament were like 80% water. I don't know why, but it doesn't receive as much attention as it would do.
So you want a lot of attention?
I think we revert because we talk about water, health, and environment. Without water, you can't talk of good environment, you can't talk of good health. So, as much as we talk about billions in health, let's also put billions in water.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, and I believe that your message is out there, it's loud, and it's clear.
Thank you.
Asante sana for joining us here on Inside Government, and of course, for talking to us.
Thank you very much, and welcome again.
Thank you.
I know we couldn't exhaust this conversation.
Yeah.
And
this is an ongoing conversation. Absolutely.
Welcome you in our other project.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, water is a critical component in our lives as human beings, and you can't live without water. And so that's why we've been talking to the chairperson of the Central Rift Valley Waterworks Development Agency, just to help us understand where they fit in the scheme of things when it comes to providing clean water to the Republic of Kenya. You've heard it from him. My name is O'Brien Kimani. Thank you very much indeed for watching Inside Government. Asante sana.